Yes, hello to everybody from Copenhagen. My name is Sonja Olsson and I'm from the Brahma Kumaris Environmental Initiative. And it is my honor and my pleasure to meet all of you from 7 days of rest. And here in Copenhagen in January, it is very peaceful and very quiet. So it is a very good day for reflection together with all of you. And actually in Brahma Kumaris, we have the whole month of January as a month for personal reflection, going deep and touching base with the inner core qualities of peace and love, and to make a connection to the Supreme Soul. So today I'm happy to share with you, to offer some of my personal experiences on the relationship between myself, others, and the world. And I put it down in 10 ways, 10 values for caring for the world. And of course, when we care for the world, we also automatically care for ourselves and for others. So I'm happy to share a screen with you here. 10 ways to change the world. And as we know, the mind and the planet are forever connected. And when we go deep inside, in silence, in reflection, we find out that the outer world that I'm living in is a kind of reflection of my inner world. Whatever I want to create out there in the world, it starts with a thought inside of me. And as the thoughts gather together in small groups, they become attitudes, they become outlook, they make the basis for my decisions, and thereby I'm creating my world. And on a collective level, all the human beings together, we have also somehow created the world we're living in. And we want to make the mind and the planet like a real loving relationship, as you see on this picture. And I'm a nurse by profession, and I often see that the world is like an old lady in an old people's home. And I'm a nurse and I have to look after her very well. Feed her one spoon at a time with patience, with love, and turn her over in the bed and make sure she has a good rest. And when we do this and we look after what's out there in the world, we also create a kind of free space inside ourselves, where we can also make room for creation of a new world. So our old lady, she will become a baby soon, and we will have a very new, lovely planet together. And the missing value, I would say today in this world, is relationship with nature. Because the planet is not healthy. And actually human beings are not that healthy either. And now during the pandemic and the lockdown, the mental health problems have increased. And we know that the climate change is now an urgency, it's really urgent, and the planet is not healthy. So it's not going very well with our old lady, the Mother Earth. And I asked once a scientist in Germany, what is the actually one core missing value, you could say, which has created this situation we're in? And he said, it is relationship. And I thought that was very interesting. And how do we create a sound and healthy relationship with the world around us? And I had a good experience this morning because I was chopping vegetables for cooking lunch. And I had so many things going on in my head. And then I thought, let me just concentrate on what I'm doing at the moment, to be in the now. And as I kept chopping the broccoli, it became a very beautiful experience for me. Just me and the broccoli and the cutting board. And it was a beautiful experience. Just being in the now and connecting to matter. And I was thinking, if we are more in the now, we will also have experienced more of the wonder of nature, the fantastic ability that we can breathe the air, and when we drink the water, when we walk on earth. These are amazing experiences if you really focus on the now and what you're doing. So we can rebuild a relationship with matter by concentrating on the small things, piece of broccoli, or the moment, or one step on the earth. And as we do this, these small moments will gather together and become a relationship with the whole planet. And one can also ask oneself, what is the favorite relationship I have with other human beings? And for me, it would be friendship. Friendship for me has always been the most important one. And I remember when starting meditation with Brahma Kumaris, and we were asked to think about our favorite relationship with God or with the divine. And I immediately said, without knowing anything, oh, God would have to be my friend. And we had a very nice friendship relationship for many, many years before I started exploring other relationships like mother or father or beloved or guide. And so friendship for me is important. So I can transfer this to other people, but also to the planet, and create a friendship relationship. And for me, friendship would be trust, would be listening, would be love and care, and we look after each other. And there is an old Native American tradition saying that they say if there is no animal on the planet, then human beings would feel very lonely. And I think this is so true. This is so true indeed. And I remember my old father from the countryside in Sweden. When he became old, he couldn't hear so well. And so he couldn't hear the birds anymore. He was living on the countryside. He's a farmer, actually. So he couldn't hear the birds in the morning or in the evening. And it caused a kind of depression in him. He became very lonely and very sad. It took a long time to overcome that. And it made me think the importance of relationship with the animals and nature around you. And nowadays they talk about a mental deficiency called nature deficit disorder. And it is not an official diagnosis yet, but it is an idea that human beings, especially children, if they spend less time outdoors, that will change and create some behavior problems. So it's important in the summer, walk barefoot, go to the river and touch the water, take a swim in the ocean, climb trees, hold stones in your hands, and get the feeling that you're alive. And coming back to the values here, we have in Brahma Kumaris chosen 10 values, 10 ways which connect the soul with the world around us. And here we have them all, and I will go through them one by one to see. And as I do this, I'd like you as listeners to think for yourself, which one am I really good at, which one is my favorite, I'm doing it a lot, and which one of the 10 values do I need to practice more. So that's a very important thing. What can I do more and what am I really good at? So let's start. And the first one would be, of course, to live simply. Simplicity is a core value when it comes to sustainable living. And for some people, living simply might sound a bit boring. And we are used to having many gadgets around us for entertainment. We're used to travel to feel good. We are used to have some people are, the rich people are in the world, are used to having quite of resources going for entertainment only. So living simply can seem a challenge for many. But when now in 7 days of rest, we go inside and we find our true core value of peace, of love, of compassion, and we spend time in there, it becomes a very rich inner world. And I can become very content inside. And then when I turn outside to action and to the world, I don't need so many things. So living simply actually becomes a joy, because living simply also means less complications. Because the opposite of simplicity, one way, is complications. And I'm sure you agree with me, we have enough of complications. So living simply comes from an inner contentment, and it is our responsibility and it is our duty to work out for ourselves what creates inner contentment for me. And one can take a day, one can take a month, one can take a year to work this out. And for some people, it's more connected to movement and move around and walk and do things. For some people, it might be connected to more silence, to more reflection. Some people like to get the richness of values and experience from inside and write and share. For other people, it might be the opposite way, that with reading and listening to others, I find this inner contentment and a feeling of moving forward. So my inner life is my adventure. So I need less things on the outside. And we know for sure that sometimes when we go shopping, it is a kind of compensation for inner joy or happiness. But we also know for sure that whatever physical things I use in order to feel good about myself, it has very short effect. It lasts for a very short time. Anything which is long-lasting would have to come from the inside. So that's the first value, living simply. The second one is being unlimited. What is unlimited? Yes, without limits. So where is it I put my limits? And how is it connected to sustainability and caring for the world? Well, we can say one limit, the first limit I put is on myself, that I maybe identify myself with what I do and how I look like and where I come from and my education, all these physical things I use to identify my being. But the inner being, are much more than that. In Brahma Kumaris, we say I'm a soul, and the soul has no limit in terms of gender or nationality or religion. So when I consider myself to be a soul, I remove many limits, and I open up for a wider capacity to connect with other people and to connect with the world. And actually, I open up for my capacity to connect to other people as my family. So the whole world becomes my family. And that is being unlimited. And we know that with family, we look after them. It's all like families are small units in the world put down and created so we can look after each other. I will always have more care and time and responsibility for people who I'm close to rather than from distant people. And on a practical level, yes, it will work like that. But on a spiritual level, on a vibrational level, I don't need to limit myself to one physical family. On a vibrational level, the whole world is my family. So I can extend my care and compassion and responsibility to the whole world and to all living beings. And my inner world will expand and I will have more experiences. And I will connect to the earth as a beautiful living organism. And it will fill my heart and my soul with joy. And then, of course, I will take more responsibility in action. Not to pollute, not to use food out. Food wastage is a big problem. And all this, my lifestyle will be one with very small ecological footprint. Being unlimited also means to open up my mind for solutions, for creativity, to think outside the box. So what do we need to find these big solutions that can help humanity move forward, or the solutions that can help my own life to move forward? So being unlimited, not to narrow myself down, to trust, to have peace, and all these things that live inside me as a soul. So is this a very soul-connected value? Okay, we move forward and we come here to free, open the heart. Wow, we all like that, isn't it? So what is open the heart to do with a sustainability? And you can say that in one way it's got everything to do with it. Because love is connected to everything, everything I do. There is a saying that the way I do anything is the way I do everything. So the way I look after my small things in the room, or the way I look after the kitchen, or the way I look after the things in my cupboards or in the office, the small things, this is also the same way I look after the whole world. So if I look after the small things with love, I will also look after the big things with love. The way I look after myself with a lot of love and gentleness is also the way I look after other people. So opening the heart. And when I open the heart, I can easily connect. I can connect to other people, to the world. And it is sometimes fear that stops our love, our heart to open. It is fear and insecurity that would shrink the heart or close the heart. So working on fear and insecurity it's a lifelong journey. But it is the only way to move forward in order to have a loving and rich world, loving and rich life. So it's worthwhile in these days of reflection to think about what creates fear deep inside. And you see, when I become fearful, my energy shrinks and I start thinking of survival. And survival would be for myself, first of all, and then for maybe others close to me. And when I'm fearful, I'm thinking of short-term steps or solutions or way forward. But when we think of caring for others and caring for the world, I need to think in long term. So when I am based in love, my energy opens up and my thinking becomes long term. And it includes a wide sphere of people. So yeah, deep inside, I'm a loving, peaceful, joyful person. And the being of peace and joy, I can never be rejected. I can never be left alone, or I can never be left behind. And in a way, I can say that I, the being, I can never die either. So the more I spend in that energy, the less my fear will be present. So every day I can touch base with that part of me, and then I can move forward. And the fear and insecurity becomes less and less, and my heart's open. So open the heart. And then we take next one here, number 4, respect life. Respect life, respect. Maybe it comes after love, because one of the results of having an open heart would be that I respect life. And there is an old saying that all life is sacred. So treating life as sacred will increase my respect. And when I treat everything with respect, my feeling of sacredness also increase. And yesterday I read an article here in Denmark about a person who gave up normal life and gave up work and the people around her, and moved out to the forest, and she's living alone in a house. And it wasn't an easy decision for her, but she had to do it in order to survive as a human being. And she started to talk to the trees. And it's like before she cut the wood for whatever she needs in her household, she would talk to the tree first. And when she's doing her vegetables in the garden, she would talk to them about what she's doing. And this has increased. And she feels she has a kind of relationship with the plants and trees. And she thought people would say that I'm gone crazy. But actually, her blog has become very popular, and more and more people than she imagined, understand this. And I think actually more people than we think of talk to trees and plants. So respecting life, it's like having communication flow. And sometimes with other people, we need difficult communications, and it's the same with the world around me. But to keep communication open is a way to respect. And so to treat things with care and not to waste it. So the opposite of respect would be to violate the principles. And there is a principle of giving and taking, and I only take as much as I need. And I would give more. I take less and I give more. And to respect these principles, increase my responsibility, and it increase my respect for life around me. And then my self-respect will increase also. And to have self-respect is the key component in this world where there is so much pressure around me. So I can start by giving respect in the small things to the world around me, and my experiences of sacredness will increase. Okay, we come to number 5, being positive. And you can, in one way, you can say that all these values are very close to each other, and maybe they have the same core in one way. But we can have some good time together thinking about the small differences between the values and how they relate to my life. And here, being positive, keeping positive is to keep the mood up and to keep the spirit high and to keep going no matter what. And I had a friend, he's not around anymore, but we used to be very good friends. And he started to sort the garbage in his household a long time before the municipality started garbage sorting, because he was convinced it was the right thing to do. And you know, long time ago, at that time, if the municipality didn't gather the garbage in different boxes, you have to take your garbage to various places and sort it yourself. So it's quite a big decision to do. And he was very happy about it, and he felt really good giving this extra time to garbage sorting. But then he told me when he's in a bad mood, he doesn't care. He has put everything in one bin, and it doesn't really matter, nothing. So when he has a negative mood, a negative day, garbage sorting has gone out of the window. And when he's positive, he's doing it with so much love and so much care. So I often think about this for myself, that when I'm positive, I'm doing everything with happiness and joy, I'm doing the right thing. And my negative days, well, everything can be a struggle, even the small things. So, to keep positive, yeah, find your ways to do it. Make your gratitude list for the day, or gratitude list for in general. Some people do a gratitude list for the day in the morning, and in the evening they do a gratitude list for life in general. It's never ending. I used to collect a list of small things that makes me happy. Small moments of joy, like you turn on the water tap and I can drink the water that comes, or when the sun comes out, or, you know, small things. Someone calls me, and collect these small things. So being positive is an attitude, and it's like my foundation can be positive, and then I have negative experiences and negative days. And that's a big difference, to have a negative foundation and then positive days and positive experiences. So yes, find your way around it. Take a course in positive thinking every year to remind yourself of the core principles. Talk to your friends and relatives about it, and keep moving. And this will help the world in the biggest way. So we take next here. Yes, we take next here is number 6, walk the talk. And yes, we have to practice what we speak. A very important value in today's world when transparency and honesty is in dealings is more and more increasingly important. But there is also good to be honest about the things I can't practice. So you see, if I think I have to be 100% in everything I do before I can talk about it, then I can never say anything. Because none of us are 100% in anything we do. That's the condition of being a human being. We're not perfect, but we can do the best we can. And we can be open about the things that are difficult, and we can share about it. So yes, I can talk about sustainability, even though I'm not living a 100% sustainable life. I have my difficult areas. Yes, I can talk about peace and love, even though I'm not peaceful and loving all the time. But as long as I'm open about it, and I share, and actually sharing the difficult parts with others can also help in creating a good dialogue and to get help from others. And then when we start helping each other, we start cooperation and collaboration. And that's the way to move forward. No one will ever be able to create the greatest change alone. No individual, no group, no community, no nation, no political party can create the change needed in the world on their own. We need everybody, and we need to work together. And for that, yes, I do my best. And I'm open with the rest. Thank you. And then empower yourself. Wonderful picture here. So inner strength, empower myself. I used to be so interested in this topic. Where does the inner strength come from? Is it by birth? Is it genes? Is it family? Is it culture? Is it education? Is it chance? Is it from God? Is it luck? Where is the inner resilience originating from? And I found out an interesting article where a woman studied this for years and read thousands of articles, and she boiled it down to 3 things. And she said there are 3 values that are crucial in creating inner strength. And the first one would be to face the truth, to open your eyes to reality and accept what you see. And the second would be to have a spiritual or religious framework to keep you move forward no matter what. And the last one was creativity for new solutions, to be able to think in a new way, innovative. And myself personally, I find these 3 values in my meditation. So I couldn't be without it, my reflection and meditation, because they are so closely connected to empowerment and inner strength. And we move forward here. We have number 8, eating well. And in terms of sustainability, eating well means to eat vegetarian, or even better, to be vegan. This to be vegan and vegetarian is the biggest single step any individual can do on a practical level towards a sustainable world. The meat industry has a bigger impact on the earth than transport sector, for example. So eat less meat, eat more locally produced, and cook with a lot of love and care, and that food will nourish your body and your soul. Very practical. Number 8. And number 9, follow your dreams. Yes, we all have a dream. And if you can't forget your dreams when you had when you were small, then go back to them and find them. They are stored in your consciousness. Follow your dreams. And we don't dream about sitting alone on a dirty planet. We dream about being together with people we love. We dream about a beautiful, harmonious world in nature. So keep dreaming and keep your dream alive. And the more detailed my dream is, the more likely I am to achieve it, to work on it. The more likely I am to bring other people into my dream so we can work on it together. Yeah, follow your dream. And the last one here comes specially for today, for the 7 days of rest and reflection to feed the soul. And the more time spent in silence and reflection, the more likely I am to see the connections between everything in the world, to see the interconnectedness between me, human beings, and the planet. The more time I spend in silence and reflection, I'm able to feel I'm also connected to the Supreme Soul, to the Divine. And this connection is unbreakable in silence. Every day to spend time in silence, to feed the soul. I feed the body every day, so I feed the soul every day. And I send these vibrations of peace and love out to the world around me. So they were the 10 ways to change the world. So thank you for going through that with me. And I hope you find your favorite. And I hope you find the one you need to work more on. And I like to finish this wisdom offering by doing a meditation together with all of you. So we can take 5 minutes for a meditation. So I ask you to sit straight and to take a deep breath. And I go inside with my attention. My body is relaxed. My breathing is deep and slow. My shoulders and my neck is relaxed. And I go inside with my attention. I leave the world around me. And I go into my inner world. And I keep moving through layers of experiences, situations. And I keep moving deep inside. And finally, I find a place of rest and comfort. And I can relax in my inner self. I start talking to myself about being a soul of light, soul of peace and love. And I embrace the inner being. And the lights start to shine. And I stay here, quiet, peaceful, enjoying my own company. And as a being of light, I reach out to the divine. I connect to the divine light. And I get even more charged with light and love. And I spread this light and love to the world around me. I hold the earth in my hands. And heal the pain and suffering. And I keep holding her forever. And I return back. And I take a deep breath. And I come back to this present moment. So thank you for sharing that meditation with me. And here we can, I'll say thank you for today. And here you can see a bit more about Brahma Kumaris and our environment initiative and what we do. And I hope I see you online or in the energy world or in the physical sometime. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. I'll stop sharing here. And yes, and have a last day. Have a nice last day of rest and reflection. Thank you very much. Goodbye.